welcome back to another wonderful episode of Metal Gear University.
I am T.
And I'm Kay, and we are sick.
We're both feeling awful.
We wanted to try our best and release an episode still because it was the last episode a break episode too
No, we did an actual 4 episode,
last time.
but the one before that was a break one because okay,
Yeah, someone cursed us.
something happened. This time around, I've been battling allergies, right? So I go to the ENT, and this ENT guy gives me this medication that helps fight sinus infections. I did not know that it would lower my immune system. And apparently I had something swimming around in me and I was like sick as a dog for like a week.
Week, and I was taking care of him, and then you started feeling better, and then I got sick.
Yeah, you are where I was like about a week ago. So like speaking of, how are you? Are you okay?
I'm okay. I feel like I sound different,
You do.
and I'm feeling better than before. It's been 2 weeks of craziness. A window also fell on my face
I
last week.
forgot about the window.
So much. I feel like someone cursed us, but it's okay because we're back, baby.
They're trying to keep us down.
Things are looking up. I was trying not to cough. Okay, we've been sick. We've been watching a lot of movies, and we were able to feel better and take notes for this episode.
Yes.
And I'm just excited to continue on in Metal Gear Solid 4 because I'm okay. Don't look at me like that, T. You just feel bad?
I do. I genuinely do.
I think it's just because I haven't been talking much these past couple days just to save my voice.
Have you been saving your strength for this episode?
Been fighting all my life just for this moment.
I honestly I really applaud you, but I want you to get all the rest that you can.
I'll do this episode and then I'll rest.
Okay.
Keep me in your hearts and your thoughts.
And mine as well.
Oh no. Okay. Um, I mean, nothing's really been happening. We've just been watching a lot of movies.
Yeah.
No new Metal Gear news.
Uh off the top of my head, I don't think so.
We try to like see what's happening the past 2 weeks. We haven't been playing anything.
We haven't been really doing much of anything besides watching movies. Like we watched everything from There Will Be Blood to Westward the Women.
That was a good Western movie.
I was surprised on how much I liked Westward the Women.
We finally watched Inland Empire, or maybe it watched us.
Yeah, Inland Empire was that is the most weird movie I've ever seen.
Being high on Nyquil and watching it felt like that was part of the experience too. So I don't know. It's been a weird 2 weeks, but we planned out this episode. Metal Gear Solid 4. At least the first part was a little. It felt a little convoluted, so I think we made sense of it.
Basically on how 4 opens, it does a lot of like these narrative tricks where it goes to the present day and 3 weeks ago. Then there's a mission briefing in the main menu and we're like, okay, instead of like making everything convoluted, we're here to just figure out what the hell happened. So we're going to put everything in
Chronological order.
chronological order. Thank you.
We just want to make sure all of this makes sense because that's the whole point of Metal Gear University is for things to make sense.
Especially this game. This game, above all other games, is what gave me the most confusion in my time as a fan.
Oh, I mean, at that point too, I guess you were playing solo when this game came out, right?
Oh yeah,
You were. When did this game come out?
this came out in like '07.
Oh yeah, so that was like early internet even too.
Yeah, I mean, like there was like internet message boards for like fan theories and stuff, but like, a lot of people just they were left to their own devices, pretty much.
So we're here to hold your hand the whole way. And again, I still think it's really sad that people can't really play this. Like it's not in a volume like master collection yet. Like
Yeah.
so it's people probably if you haven't played it, you probably watched a let's play. But we're gonna talk in depth now about it. But see, let's hop back in while I have some of my voice left.
Okay, let's do it.
You ready for a pop quiz?
Oh, I'm ready for a pop
We're
quiz.
back into it. So, T,
Yes, Kay.
you have written down 4 questions for today's pop quiz.
I have. I have written down 4 questions.
And we are going to do it blind. Well, I'm going to do it blind. You will ask these questions and I will answer. And we don't have the answers in front of us. I mean, we never do.
No, not typically. No. Well,
No,
actually, no. We never
we
have the
never do.
answers.
So, you know what? I didn't have to explain that because we're just doing the normal.
Yeah, we're just doing the regular, what we do
You
every
see,
week.
That's the cold mind
Yeah,
I have. You see,
exactly.
it's just.
Question number 1. Name 2 of the top PMCs in the world.
I think what's cool is I can blame being sick for not knowing the answer. And I'm gonna lock that in. I think one of them is like praying octopus or something. Like,
Oh God, you're so close.
it's not decoy octopus. It's not sexy octopus, even though that commercial was sexy. Uh, it's. I'm gonna. I know you said I'm close, so it's not praying octopus. And I don't know any other ones. I'm sorry. Wait, no. I'm trying to remember from last time because there was one that had a really Russian name or like a really kind of like it felt Germanic or Eastern Europe name. Just put the buzzer.
Okay. I would have taken praying mantis PMC.
Fuck, praying mantis. Okay.
That's one of the top ones. And the other one that's off the top of my head, it's like a French one. I forget the name of it.
Oh,
No, in the
buzzer.
Hold on. It's in French, but like it translates to octopus armament.
Oh.
And I would have taken the English translation. Like
So I just mixed 2 together.
you did. Question number 2. What was the name of the game show that was featured in the commercials?
Damn, I'm gonna get the first question wrong and this one. Damn it.
You've been sick. It's okay.
Yeah, it's the sickness.
Yeah.
It's definitely that. At the game show, it's the one where they pan to the husband in the crowd, right? It was
Yes.
like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll give you a hint as mercy. Dante's Inferno is referenced.
The Seventh Circle.
There you go.
I love Dante's Inferno.
There we go.
The Seventh Circle. Thank you.
You did good. You did good.
Yay!
Question number 3. True or false? The SOP system can control how you feel during a mission.
I know that is true.
Wow, that is correct.
I do know because last episode we were talking about how the way that they can control this kind of limits human behavior and kind of stifles what it means to be a person experiencing war. And so I remember we had that discussion. So what a scary system indeed.
Indeed is right. Now, question number 4, the last question. Who made SOP and the weapon lock tech that we see throughout the game?
Would it be Arms Tech?
That is correct.
Yay!
You see, look, you're not so bad.
Okay, I think the first one threw me off. So.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Wow, 4 questions, and this is a nice welcome back to the pop quiz. We do pop quiz questions sometimes during the 201s, but
Sometimes, but not typically, no.
back to our typical 101 format.
Isn't it nice?
It's okay. I'm just happy to be back. Everyone take care of yourselves. So excited to be back, and we're ready to jump in to Metal Gear Solid 4. Let's begin. So T.
Yes, Kay?
Metal Gear Solid 4 is comprised of 4 acts.
Yes.
This first act is Act 1, Liquid Sun. And Sun is S-U-N.
Yes.
This first act kind of goes back and forth a little bit. Like you were saying earlier in this podcast episode, there's a lot of like flash forwards or like 3 weeks ago, 3 days ago. Like it's a lot of jumping around. So we wanted to put it in like a chronological timeline just so we can kind of get in the mindset of Snake himself.
Yes.
So chronologically, we went from the last time we saw Solid Snake.
He was giving like this inspiring speech to Raiden about uh, who you can choose to be and what you could pass on. And
We've inherited freedom from all those who fought for it. We all have the freedom to spread the word, even me.
choosing what to fight for and what to believe in is very uplifting speech.
And that was in the year of what,
2009.
2009. Okay. This game is set a mere 5 years later.
The far off future of 2014.
And the first image, chronologically, we get of Snake is this old looking man standing in front of a grave. And we know that's Snake. It
Yeah,
looks like Snake, but it's an old, old man.
it is an old man.
So like the first questions you have are like, why is he who is this old man? Like, is that really Snake?
Uh-huh.
And who is he like whose grave is he saluting?
Yeah, honestly, not to veer too far off track here, but that's been like a point of contention with some groups of people. Uh, Off the top of my head, the grave says something along the lines of like a mercenary who died in the flames of war, something like that.
Okay.
And it's dated 1930x to 1999. In 1999 was the Zanzibar land incident.
Okay.
Okay, so we got that. Most people believe that he's saluting the grave of Big Boss.
But isn't that what is intended?
I believe that's what's intended.
Like, wait, let's pause for a moment.
Sure.
So we checked and he is saluting Big Boss's grave.
I concede that he is, but I don't like it.
And it's supposed to mirror was it
The ending of 3.
yeah.
Also, this game is littered with like these little prompts. There's like little X prompts that you could see at the top right of the screen. If you hit them during cutscenes, they flash a like remember
Oh,
thing. It's basically a nostalgia button.
okay.
Um,
So it'll flash back to a different game, right? A
yeah.
different cutscene.
So like if you hit that button while Snake is saluting, you'll see Big Boss saluting the grave of the boss.
Okay, so it's supposed to be like mentor to mentor. So I guess he considers like Big Boss his mentor. He's there to, but I agree, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
To me, that should be Gray Fox's grave.
I agree. Now I know that we are keeping headcanons aside, yada yada, but hear me out. I concede that canonically, yes, he is saluting the grave of Big Boss. But to Snake's point of view, Big Boss was a traitor and he was this madman who tried to take over the world.
He was his mentor, and if I were thinking about Metal Gear itself,
Uh-huh.
there was a portion where like you were talking to Big Boss and he was giving you advice and like you were listening to him. So maybe in the modern sense we haven't seen that kind of connection the way we saw the Boss and Naked Snake.
True.
So maybe that's why it's harder to conceive of.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe that's like the only issue. It's hard to see the Boss and Naked Snake as a parallel to Old Snake and Big Boss.
Yeah. No, I agree.
What happens next is this helicopter touches down
Yeah, right behind Snake.
at this graveyard. Like, I don't know. It seems a little disrespectful. Which, I mean, Old Snake points out. His name is Old Snake, by the way. We get a little,
Yeah,
like,
his-
character card.
His official name is Old Snake. Now, if you have sharp eyes, it starts off as Solid Snake, but the letters disappear, and the only ones that are left is OLD.
Aw, that's kind of cute and sad.
So Otacon meets him up on this cemetery, and he's like, Snake, we gotta go. And oh, by the way, we figured out what's with you, why you're so old. And Snake's like, okay, what? Hit me up. And he's like, well, according to this lab analysis, it looks like you just have Werner syndrome.
I think they said he thought it was Werner syndrome, right? Like, they weren't too sure.
Yeah, they the way that Otacon gave the news, it seemed that like he was confused, but it's the only logical thing that makes sense.
I mean, again, considering it's only been 5 years since Metal Gear Solid 2, and he looks significantly older.
Yeah.
Like he's looking like Ocelot did in Metal Gear Solid. Like the graying, the wrinkles,
He's got like liver spots on his hands.
and I think too the progression of it might have been so intense, which is why like I think for Otacon to even bring that up at that point, you could tell they're like okay, like they've been recently doing tasks or like it's something so sudden that they're still working to find an answer.
Yeah.
So it's just a rapid progression. And I think the saddest part about it, I think Old Snake realizes that he doesn't have that much time left,
Snake himself says that he has about a year left.
which don't even want to think
That's
about
so
that.
sad, man.
Don't even want to think about that. The hopeful message of two. And now we're starting this game, and it's like, oh, okay.
Okay, if you remembered in Metal Gear Solid 2, when Solid Snake was rushing up to meet Ocelot or Liquid or whatever,
Whoever.
whoever that was, um, and he goes up and says, Ocelot. Ocelot slash Liquid is looking at him, and he's basically saying, not so young anymore, eh, Snake? You're drowning in time. I know what it's like. And then he says,
The price of physical prodigy. Few more years and you'll be another dead clone of the old man.
So you're saying Kojima had this plan back then? Or at least had this idea?
I genuinely do think so. Now, I don't like, I'm not going to go as far as to say he planned out 4 in advance, but I think he was planting the seeds of having Snake advance in age rapidly.
Because I feel like there's no other way to really interpret that. I was really trying to like scratch my brain and think about like why else would Liquid comment on that if it's not because he can see Snake is rapidly deteriorating or like his age is accelerating. So this might be something that's just in their genes, in their DNA. I mean,
Who's to know? I mean, they are clones. They're not like normally made humans,
well, I mean, I think too. That's it though. Like they're manufactured. They were made.
You
But I
never
mean,
know.
maybe we'll learn more. But that's a part of it. And I guess Otacon, sadly, he's not key to Les Enfants Terribles, so he has to figure out what's happening.
Mhm.
Otacon looks great anyway. Oh, can we also just discuss how great this game looks?
When we were taking notes and just like looking at the character models, like I was talking to Kay and I was like, not to glaze like Metal Gear Solid 4 this hard, but there are some games that I play nowadays that I'm like, Snake looks like something on PS4 even. Like he looks really fucking nice.
I mean, this game did push the limits of the PS3. I feel like every time you play this game, the PS3 was ready to take off.
The slim one that you got, that was pushed to the limits. Every time I played that game on my like launch model PS3, like the George Foreman looking guy, it looked and felt like a jet engine was about to take off in my fucking bedroom.
But you said that it was always like that from even launch, right? It wasn't even as if like your PS3 got old. It was just a heavy game.
It was a heavy game. It was a heavy burden. It felt like Kojima made like a PS4 and had to downgrade it to a PS3 game because like there were a lot of moments like if we're talking about like gameplay stuff, like there were moments where like the frame rate, and I'm not usually one for frame rate. I don't really, that's not my, I don't care. But there were moments where it would slow down so much.
Would it stagger?
It would.
Wow.
And like there are like a handful of instances where that would happen throughout the game, and I was like, damn, this thing is trying.
I mean, I guess I can just mention it now too. The seamless kind of transition too from cutscenes into gameplay. Like this game is full of those.
Oh yeah, it was the first game that I played that did that sort of thing, that had like a seamless transition from cutscene to gameplay.
Yeah, you would be watching something and then, a few seconds later, they'll be talking to characters. You'll see your health bar on the top left and you're like, oh, like I gotta go.
Oh yeah,
I'm on.
because like I feel that Kojima and the team really wanted you to see the amount of work that they put in. Like the character model that you're playing in the game is the character model that is in the cutscenes, and the amount of detail that they put in Snake, in the weaponry,
Yes, the
in
weapon. Oh my god.
in everything, it honestly boggles the mind on how they did it back in the day.
I mean, that's why I think too. I mean, I feel like a lot of people online joke, but that's why they say like Volume 2 for the Master Collection is taking such a long time because they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on with Metal Gear Solid 4
Mm-hmm.
and how to transfer it.
Yeah, no, four is the big problem. Like you could transfer over Peace Walker, Portable Ops. You could transfer or remaster. I don't know what the hell you could do with five, but do something with five, whatever. Four is what is keeping Konami up at night because they're like, how the hell can I even do? Because it was specifically made to run on a PS3. Now, not to say that like it can't be done now, because like people emulate the thing. It's possible, but it's
I
tough.
mean, I think there's a reason why it's not available. Like, well, we'll see. It's coming in
Yeah.
time. Anyway, so
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked here.
back to the game. So Otacon is obviously very worried. Snake seems kind of resolved to the fact that he's gonna die. Like,
I feel like, I mean, I've never been in that position, but I feel like once you're given that sort of like a bill, some people don't know how to handle it, and then some people are just like, all right, this is what I got.
and
This is the hand that I got to play with.
yeah, that I was dealt. And I think too, with the nature of the world they're in, I could imagine Snake is just tired.
Yeah.
Like Snake, just a few years ago, was telling this young little African boy that he, just dream big and follow your heart, and things will get better. And now it's like this war focused.
Yeah, the world got so much worse, and he got so much worse, and it's like, damn.
What else? And the funniest thing is, I mean, it's kind of it's a blessing and a curse because what we come to find out too is that Otacon has come to pick him up, but not just pick him up. He's brought an old friend.
The Colonel. Now, don't worry, it's the real one this time. It's the real Colonel. He's there in person. He shakes Snake's hand and everything.
Him and Snake look the same age.
Isn't that sad?
It's really
They look like two retired old war buddies hanging out.
because I think about just the Colonel, how he looked like the fake AI Colonel, but then like you think about the older games, him and the Kodak, and you're like, this is an older
Yeah.
man. And to see him now and him and Snake are both gray and I'm like, damn, like Snake is
It's rough, man.
it's rough.
It's rough.
And Colonel's still working.
Yeah, he's not in the military anymore, but he's working within the UN and the
Ooh.
Security Council.
Okay.
So, he's making his way around the world,
And that also means that before he was privy to like what's happening in the world, but now even more so. Like, you know what I mean? Like he has more of a hand with other countries
Yeah.
as opposed to just US.
Yeah, and just doing like spec op missions or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, while Colonel was doing his job, one day, him and his UN buddies notice that the top 5 PMC companies in the world
Yeah.
are owned by a shadow organization.
How does one know that a shadow organization is?
This is the lore of the game, okay? I'm not here to like to dissect
When they go in, it says a shadow dummy.
the shadow dummy organization.
This is not real.
It's the dark web where we have the shadow organization. Anyway,
So 5 of them are owned by the same company.
by the same company.
Them diversifying their portfolio.
Mm-hmm. So
Smart.
this shadow company is called Outer Heaven,
Oh no.
and it is manned
No.
by Liquid Snake, also known as Liquid Ocelot.
Oh,
So
that's not confusing.
So, okay, let's explain this real quick. The gist of it is, remember at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2 where Liquid Snake took over Ocelot's body completely and then just jumped off of Arsenal?
Oh, well, I guess the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 2, right? We saw.
No, it was at the end. That happened at the end.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Sorry, the cold.
No, it's okay. So he jumped off of Arsenal,
Yeah.
and Snake, did like that stupid jump after.
Yeah, what was he doing?
I don't know. But anyway, apparently Liquid took over Ocelot's body completely after that point. And from then on out, used shenanigans to take control of a company. And then from the shadows, take control of other companies as well.
I mean, if we think about Liquid Snake himself, and we rank the bosses, like the military groups, in another episode, Liquid Snake is very smart, very skilled. It's just that he's also very theatrical, so you forget just how smart he is.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, to give credit where credit is due, this guy's a hustler.
And he's like a trained, what was he, like British?
Trained SAS, I believe.
Like this is like a green collar, as they say. This man is a military brat through and through.
Mm-hmm.
So like now that he's back to being alive in a sense, he just has a host on to do his, like you said, his shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. So Liquid is out doing his thing. He bought 5 of the biggest militaries on the planet, and apparently he's planning some sort of coup. He's planning something.
Oh my god! Always gotta be scheming.
So Colonel and his buddies are thinking, okay, this is a problem. We don't know what to do, because if we go to anyone about this, we're basically asking to kill the top guy of a major international organization.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. The UN can't do stuff like that.
No, but especially considering we spoke about already how like this is just the way the world is now.
Yeah,
So you trying to assassinate the head of a PMC for what end?
exactly.
How do you explain that?
You can't. So that's why Colonel is going to philanthropy. And as we know, we like philanthropy. Philanthropy's cool. But in the world of Metal Gear, they're a terrorist group
Well, we haven't spoken about philanthropy since.
too.
Wow, so essentially they're still working.
Yeah, they're still around.
So you have the UN hiring this
A-
fringe
This fringe terrorist group to assassinate a multinational
legal PMC.
of a legal PMC. Yeah.
How,
So-
how do you like navigate that when discussing with?
Things are weird. Things are weird
Because
now.
all you can say is, "Hey, that guy's not who you think he is. He's actually Liquid Snake, who died all those years ago. He was able to come to this guy's body
Yeah,
by the arm." And,
They're gonna be like, shut the fuck up. That doesn't make any sense. Go away.
Yeah.
So Colonel is like, okay, we got to do this under the table.
Oh, okay, everything's all on the table. Cool.
So, so Colonel gets Snake over to the Middle East, because apparently that's where Liquid set up base.
Okay, an unspecified country, right?
Unspecified Middle Eastern area.
I love when they do that because like, oh, they're in Africa. Africa's a fucking continent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I did that annoys me. It's a group of countries.
Hmm.
We're smart enough to know what country it is.
I mean, maybe they just didn't want to like say like, oh, they're in Iraq, and then like people in Iraq are like, hey, what the hell, man?
Well, I mean, what was our boy Ryden from? That was very specific.
Oh, that's true too. Anyway, we're
Sorry.
getting bogged down. Yeah, he's in the Middle East. He's disguised as a militiaman, and he's tasked with meeting up with this team called Rat Patrol Team 01. They're like a task force that is sent there to like basically be police to PMCs, and they're gonna tell him where Liquid is.
Okay, are they like UN based?
No, they're a part of like the U.S. Army.
Yes, because we spoke about how the US still has some kind of
Yeah, the
weird-
U.S. is still has a military presence, but it's not the big boy in town anymore.
Okay, they're watching other PMC groups.
Yeah, they're basically like referees,
That's
if you could think of it like that.
Crazy to make sure war is like.
War is done correctly.
Oh my god. Okay.
So Snake has to make his way to meet Rat Patrol to tell him where Liquid is.
Okay.
So when Snake arrives on the scene, it's just chaos. It's just insane amounts of bloodshed, and militiamen are falling left and right.
And when you start the game up, this is what you're immediately thrown into: chaos.
Yeah.
It's like he's on the back of a truck, right? And it's just like you said, like people are falling off the truck. There's bombings. Like it's just
Yeah,
chaos.
there's helicopters, and then there's a point in time where the battle is subdued for a little bit, and all the militia members are standing around, and they're like, "What's going on?" And then you hear something that sounds almost like locusts in the background, and then you see something jump out from the distance and land in the middle of the street, and it is this thing.
It looks almost like it has human like appendages. It kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Rays in a sense.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great observation, because what this thing is, it's called a gecko,
Okay.
and they're mass produced unmanned vehicles, and they have the legs of Metal Gear Ray and the heads of Metal Gear Rex. And these things wreak havoc. Like, if you see this thing in the game and you're new, run.
No, because they're large and they're in charge.
Yeah,
And they also moo.
they moo. Yeah.
Like, why? That's just like their battle cry. What's the analysis on that?
If I remember correctly, I believe it was stated in an interview that they wanted them to moo so that it would unnerve you, or like unnerve the people in the battle, to be like, okay, what's like a docile animal that people won't think is imposing? Oh, a cow. Moo.
And then it's just this thing crushing people and just like slamming people against rock and cement.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is honestly the combo between because Metal Gear Rays were always so scary to me because they were just so nimble.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the worst part about this machine is that it's quick.
Yeah, and it's smaller than most Metal Gears, so it can get into like little tight corners.
It almost like crawls its way into buildings.
It can. Yeah, it could crouch down and get into like little tinier rooms that you think that, oh, it can't get me in here. It can.
That is frightening. And do we know who sides these mechs? Because these are unmanned, so there's like AI control, no?
Yeah, they're AI controlled, but they're under the control of the praying mantis PMC that is in the area.
So PMCs have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. These are just like regular things. The world's gone to shit. Okay. Everybody has this. You could probably own one.
So it's just these mass produced mechs anyone can have. So
Yep.
damn. And then you have I was gonna say civilians, but they're not civilians. It's you and these mechs. You're just doing your job. You're doing your best.
You're just doing the best thing you could probably do. It's just to survive.
I think that's probably why we're greeted with Snake's opening monologue as soon as you start the game.
Yeah, Snake has a very famous monologue. It's "War has changed," and he more or less summarizes what we've been talking about, where people don't fight for what they believe in. People are told how to feel through nanomachines, ID tagged soldiers, ID tagged weapons and
Weapons.
gear, and all that stuff. So, Snake,
It's all feeling very hopeless.
yes, no, this is a very apocalyptic time in Metal Gear.
And I feel like too, it's almost like killing Liquid really isn't gonna change much because this is just the world itself. It's not even like Liquid is controlling the world. He's just controlling 5 of the biggest PMCs, but there's so many other PMCs and the world is used to this.
Yeah, and hypothetically, if you were to kill Liquid, someone else would just take his place, and then the world would be the same. Like at this point in time, I feel like it's not about even saving the world anymore. It's about settling a score.
That's what I feel like. It's like closing a loop.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of it's not even justice. I think even Colonel says that. It's not justice. It's
Oh yeah, it's a hired hit. That's all it is.
a Snake has another job, which is if you think kind of sad, knowing he has a year left and he's older. We didn't talk about it too, but considering he's older, not only in face, his body too, he's weaker.
Yeah, he's physically an old man. The sneaking suit that he has actually is not only just a sneaking suit, it doubles as a muscle suit.
So it's giving him the strength.
As a It's giving him the strength of a younger man.
Or the body he should have at his age.
Or that, yeah.
Because how old would he technically be?
He would be in like his
30s, no?
no, I think he would be in his 40s at this point.
Still a young man.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, I'm trying to think how old everybody else is. I can't gauge everybody else's age, but 40 is not. I mean, we think about the boss.
Yeah, the boss was in her 40s in 3, and look at her.
She was, manhandling everybody. So this sneaking suit is needed if he's going to be out here.
Mhm.
Otherwise, yeah, he would not be
No,
capable.
he would not survive.
And this sneaking suit, like you said, not only is it a muscle suit, not only is it kind of keeping him tight and right, it's also one of his most high tech suits.
Yeah, it's a what they call octo camo.
Octo camo.
And it's basically a camouflage system that works similar to an octopus. And this is honestly one of 4's really cool features, where if you have Snake lie or get up against the wall, his sneaking suit adopts the texture and the color of the object that you're in front of.
The texture too.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. I didn't realize that.
No, it's honestly a really cool mechanic.
And this is probably the most high tech suit we've seen in the game thus far.
Oh yeah, definitely the most high tech suit we've seen.
We get a cute little cutscene in the beginning of this game that kind of shows the full use of the camo, and that Snake is trying to hide from these, what are the
Geckos.
the geckos, and he's going, hiding in a building. He's going into rooms, like you said, they're following him and squeezing into these tight spaces. And at one point, he's cornered by 2 of them, and there's a box in the middle of the room that he can hide in, or to his benefit, use his camo to kind of lay against the wall and camouflage as the grime. And on the box itself, it says "No place for Hideo," and the geckos smash it. So it's kind of this little nod to just to me this is the end of what you thought you knew.
Yeah, and I feel like it's like a metaphor for how Hideo felt at the time, where the way I could be corrected here, but I feel that Kojima at the time felt that his style of game was a thing of the past, and everybody wanted to play the first person shooters that were so prevalent at that time. And maybe he felt that this was a landscape that maybe has no place for him anymore.
You're right. He's past his time.
He's past his prime.
It's funny because, in this community, you have people who feel a certain way about the best Metal Gear Solid game, or Kojima peaking or not. So I think it's a funny little nod to that, because he's probably privy to all these little conversations.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's definitely privy to these conversations. I feel that it's just a nod for that, and also in a gameplay sense, it's just putting it in your face that the old rules don't apply anymore.
I like that. Yeah, you're gonna have to learn a new style than what you're used to, because in this kind of environment, I mean, again, we're talking about this undisclosed country in the Middle East, and it is riddled with destruction. As you play, it's gunfire there, explosives here, little places to hide. So the way you sneaked around in previous games, you're gonna have to try something new.
You got to adapt.
You're gonna have to adapt, and there are the most amount of NPCs I've ever seen. You know what I mean, in these environments.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a game where it's you either adjust with the times or the times will adjust you. So Snake pushes forward, and he's moving through a war zone. Now this is the first time where you get full control of the game proper.
Okay.
I'd say you have control of the octo camo, and you're properly sneaking around.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, and
it's sleek. It's smooth.
It's silky soft. I don't know, but you get a real feel of how this game is going to be. It's very modern,
Okay.
Even
What'd you say it's related to? What other kind of game style?
the closest is 5.
Oh, so
I mean, 5 is like in terms of gameplay, like peak, but 4 is not bad either. Like it's a little bit more
the
clunky, but
clunky
like
than 5,
than 5.
but it's as sleek as it's ever been.
It's as sleek as it's ever been. Yes. Now, while heading towards the rendezvous point with Rat Patrol,
Rat Patrol 6.
Rat Patrol Team 01.
I was off. Rat.
It's all good.
Rat Patrol Team 01.
Now, before he is meeting up with them, he's linking up with Otacon because Otacon has like a bunch of goodies for him.
Okay. So Anacon's not there.
No, not physically, no, but he's leaving some goodies behind. So along the way, and I think that this is like such like a dystopian thing that like I just want to touch upon. Snake is like crawling through like a trench, right? And you see this militiaman get gunned down. And when they do, you hear like a chime.
It's almost like an ice cream truck chime.
Yeah, like hello. And this woman comes on like an intercom, and it's basically like, thank you for hiring Praying Mantis PMC. We have delivered a swift and decisive outcome. Please hire us in the future for all your combat needs.
As this guy's just lying there dead.
And like the idea of being in a war zone and hearing like an ad is wild to me. Like,
Your man gets gunned down and then you hear a commercial.
like that's the last thing you hear before you die. That's crazy. Anyway,
No, I'm just thinking too, like, you have these wars going on, and then you have, like, the quote unquote police, the US government, also having their patrol team to make sure everything is going as it should. It's just.
it's all kinds of messed up, man. It's all kinds of messed up. So Snake makes his way.
Yeah, he sees that
Yeah.
shocking and horrifying image.
I mean, what else can you do but keep going? That's what Snake's
Is
been
that not-
doing.
yeah, is that not the entirety of Metal Gear?
You just keep going.
What else is there to do?
You gotta keep crawling forward. And he links up with Otacon. And he's not there physically, but he's there via a remote control through a little droid.
It's me, Snake. Snake, it's me.
Otacon.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Okay.
Called the Metal Gear Mark II.
Ooh, it's super cute.
It's like a little, like, what's the closest
You know,
thing?
it kind of looks like the Metal Gear from Metal Gear.
I think it actually might be a reference to that.
It's like a super small version of it.
Mm-hmm. And I know that this particular model was used in Kojima's early game called Snatcher.
Mm.
It was used in that as well. This is like
Okay,
a
that's
cool,
pretty
cool little nods and stuff.
We should do an episode on Snatcher and police nods in the future.
I would love to. I would just want to play them first.
Ooh, I'll look into it. Anyway.
Any case, this thing is like a really cool tool. The player, you yourself, can take control of the Mark II and use it to like recon and gather items.
You kind of see what's in the area too, right?
Yeah,
Do people shoot at it?
if they see it.
Okay.
It has a stealth device, so
Like
it
the
could,
camo you're wearing?
no, it could turn invisible.
Ooh, even better.
So it could be undetected to enemy eyes, but infrared things, it'll get caught.
Okay.
In any case, Snake gets control of this Metal Gear Mark II. He gets a Oberator, which is like a type of handgun,
Okay.
a tranquilizer gun, and this thing called the Solid Eye, which
Ooh.
it looks like an eye patch.
So this snake is now wearing an eye patch.
Yeah,
It's about time that all the snakes match up because he was the only.
no, liquid.
Okay.
And you know, if you think about it like this snake donned an eye patch, but both eyes are intact. There's symbolism there. I don't know of what.
I thought you were cooking up something.
No, I'm not cooking up anything.
Yeah.
I'm just
He's wearing an eye patch, but he
both,
got both eyes.
but he has both the eyes are open.
Oh, so it's just like his third eye?
His third eye,
His third eye's open.
the solid eye. Am I cooking with anything? No. But, email us if you think I got
I was
something here.
eating out the palm of your hand too. I was like, oh, he got something for me.
Sometimes you just got to say shit with confidence and people will just listen to you.
You had me. So Liquid really is. I guess he lost his whole body. So I guess that's
Yeah.
an eye versus.
Yeah.
So okay, they all lost.
And this Solid Eye, it has like a radar effect. It's got night vision. It could do enemy tracking in the area. It's neat.
Okay.
It's got a little binocular effect.
It's another one of his little arsenal weapons.
It's a little gadget.
I mean, it's fitting for the times too. Like, you know what I mean? They have these geckos that are mooing. You got all these PMCs and hyper military operations happening. It's only fitting that you are also equipped with high tech gear.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So as Snake makes his way towards Rat Patrol, he is cutting through like this severely intense war zone that you could choose to affect the outcome of or not.
Do we know which countries are fighting?
Not necessary. We know that Praying Mantis comes from London, but that doesn't mean that it's
For London.
Yeah.
They're a company that originated, but you can hire them.
Yeah, you could hire mercenaries from all over the world. It doesn't matter.
But Praying Mantis is in this fight.
Praying Mantis is in this fight, and then there's like these militia members, and it's like a hodgepodge of people who are like ex-military of the country that we're in, homegrown PMCs that are new up and comers, and just like hired mercenaries just hired wildly. It's a very like hodgepodge, like low budget, and it looks it. You have one side with all of this unmanned vehicles and all of this crazy gear, and then the other side it's like very conventional. Like this isn't like this is a military outfit that you would see, God, like even in the 80s. Like
Okay.
like they're not well equipped.
It's very normal
Looking people with normal guns. So depending on what you do, you could affect the outcome of this battle, which is one of like the aspects of this game, which I think is pretty cool. But we'll touch on that on another day when you're not feeling so sick.
Okay.
You can cut through this battle. A building collapses, and you got to go underneath a tunnel system.
I feel like this is the most intense opening to a Metal Gear game.
Oh, 100%.
Yet.
100%.
Yeah, no, it's just chaotic from the get-go.
You go into this underground network, and this appears to be where the militia group is headquartered.
Okay.
And you head through their headquarters, and then you get like a real sense on how dire things are. They're like huddled up in the corner. They're injured. There's people over like a war room desk going like, what the hell do we even do, man? Like it looks a little dire.
Okay.
So Snake makes his way through this place, and he heads up some stairs, and he opens up the door. And do you know what he sees, Kay? A monkey.
A monkey? Are there monkeys in the Middle East?
No. This is a hairless monkey, too, with a diaper and everything.
Okay, so it's one of Kojima's characters coming out.
It's pretty It's pretty weird.
This is someone's pet monkey.
So Snake is like, what the hell is going on? Turns out this monkey belongs to a man called
Drebin.
Yeah, they use that for all of us.
There are more of you.
All over the world. Not that I ever met any of them personally. Me, I'm Drebin number 893.
He just happens to run into Drebin. Drebin was just kind of camped out here, I guess.
Yeah, Drebin is not perturbed by Snake's appearance or like his entryway into this whatever alleyway. Drebin's just chilling.
He's almost amused. He's like, who the hell are you? You're not militia. You're not a PMC. You retired?
He's well versed in all of this.
Yeah, this is his life. And he's sussing Snake out, and he's like, I don't know what you're doing here, but you need me.
You got a wallet, and I got what you want.
Mm-hmm. Because, as we said before, every weapon that Snake has picked up thus far, he cannot use. because there's a microchip in these guns that when he physically tries to pull the trigger, it won't let him.
I mean, everything's ID locked,
Yeah.
right? Each soldier has a weapon that's tagged to them.
Yeah. So what eventually comes out is that Drebin is essentially a guy that works for Arms Tech. And he does these dealings under the table.
He works for Arms Tech, but that's a side business that completely undervalues and undermines what they do.
Yes.
That's, okay. Continue.
He basically thought to himself, and there's apparently like other Drebins. Drebin's like an organization.
Like, what do you like? His name is Drebin, or just
he-
Drebin's a representative of?
Well, he's Drebin 893.
Oh my god! Okay.
But there are other Drebins. Drebin is just like a name for the company.
So my man got 2 jobs. It's not even like this is a side
Oh, he's
operation.
hustling.
Yeah, he's hustling.
He's hustling. So the gist of it is that Arms Tech has all the weapons, right? Drebin is like, hey, a couple of these guns just fell off the truck. I could sell them to you before the chips get in them. Do you want them? And people are like, hell yeah, because they want to fight the PMCs. They want to participate in the war and fight in the war economy or whatever the hell this world has in store for them. So Drebin sells it to them. But then since he also works for Arms Tech, he also does some honest to God, just regular work for Arms Tech.
I mean, it's smart because he's privy to everything that they're doing. You'd want a guy on the inside to be doing, like, he's gonna be able to adjust to the current environment. Like, he's adapting as it goes on.
Yeah.
It's kind of smart, but it's interesting how he hasn't been found out yet, especially kind of knowing how surveyed this whole landscape is.
Yeah. I mean, Snake talks to Otacon in the middle of this cutscene, and Snake asks Otacon exactly that. And Otacon says something along the lines of the amount of Drebins that are out there and the amount of like output that they have with these weapons. It can't be that much to make the Patriots stomp on them. Like, they're too small time still. Like, they're not that much of an issue.
So these guys just making chump change compared to what the larger organizations are doing.
Yeah. I mean, for Drebin, he's probably making
For himself, yeah.
For himself, he's making like a ton of money.
But if it's too small scale for them to be stopped, think about how much money that, like, you know what I
The
mean?
Patriots are making, or the PMCs are making.
Mm-hmm. So
It's
they're like, whatever, we know what's happening, but
like a box of AKs fall off a truck every now and then. We'll look the other way.
we got 1,000 more coming in
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So Drebin's like, I'll stick you with this needle and it'll give you newer generation nanomachines. That way that you'll be able to participate in the system. Because when Snake tried to fire the gun that Drebin gifted to him, he couldn't fire it. Not only because of the chip system,
I thought there was no chips in them.
but his nanomachines are so old that the gun would still not allow him to fire because he's from a generation before this whole system.
Okay. Okay.
It's not that there's no chip in the gun that doesn't make it fire. It's, from what I understand, it's like an ID lock.
No, I know, but you said earlier there were no chips in the guns that he was giving.
Well, there's no chips for like the person.
Oh.
But, like,
there's still a system.
There's still a system in place that makes it so a civilian can't use a gun unless they have nanomachines.
I see. It's just at this point, whoever shoots it, it won't be recognized to
them.
a certain. Got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay, so old Snake has nanomachines in him, but they're too old also.
Yeah.
So now he has to get stabbed with more nanomachines from this guy he just met.
Yeah.
What happened the last time he got stabbed by someone with?
He got fox die. So
I don't Snake.
he doesn't have great survival instincts. Cause like, I don't know. If I just met a stranger and he said, "Hey, step into my van. I'll stick you with this needle real quick." I don't know, man.
And my name is Drebin 183. Was it?
893.
$8.93. Okay.
Relax. It won't hurt. You're scared of needles or something?
Why? Just
All right, man.
bring the needle.
So Drebin sticks him with the needle, and lo and behold, Snake's able to fire the gun. So
He's in the game.
he's officially in the war economy, baby. And Drebin more or less explains to Snake that if you collect guns, you could sell it to Drebin and you can get points and then you could buy more gear.
Okay.
And the price, this is a little getting into the weeds, but I find this interesting. The price of goods in Drebin's shop changes on how active the war zone is. So the more violent the area is, the more expensive things are.
Because it's in high demand.
It's in high demand.
It's a smart businessman.
Very smart. And
But this is cool because not cool, but Snake's back in it. Now he's in the rat race.
he's in the rat race. He's back in the saddle officially. He can officially be a part of this world, as messed up as it is.
Yeah, I mean, but as always, this has been what was the phrase? Not an AOP, but this is like an like acquire on site. Like he has to get all. It's always been acquiring your weapons on site,
Mhm.
and now he's able to actually
Do it.
and also be what is it? Especially with how high tech things are, he's able to meet them where they're at. Cause now you can't really sneak around like you used to. You at some point you're gonna really need to fight.
It's
If
kind
you're
of
I mean, if you're me playing.
it's kind of like the equivalent of somebody who has been used to how things were in the 90s or early 2000s, and the idea of, oh, I need a smartphone nowadays in order to be an active participant in the
Yeah.
modern era. You need a smartphone. It's
Mhm.
not a luxury anymore. It's something that you need to have.
Yeah, true. And so Drebin is now kind of like he's kind of part of your team in a weird sense. He's not someone not so much you trust him, but you need him.
Yeah, he's someone that you keep at arm's length.
And now Snake's officially into it, and we'll see what happens from there.
Drebin heads out into his little van, says his famous catchphrase, "I have you." And his little monkey closes the hatch. And then they drive off into the distance, leaving Snake to ponder what the hell is with that monkey.
That's what I'm actually. I don't know what it means. Is a diaper on too?
I don't know. We're gonna have to do an episode on that monkey.
Yeah. The monkey have a name?
Oh, I think it was called Gray Man?
Gray Man?
I think. So close. It's called Little Gray. Little Gray. That'll be a question next week, kids.
It was kind of
Little Gray Man, I think it was called. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
Okay, sorry. I'm asking the real questions.
I mean,
The
a lot of
people wanna
people,
know.
were wondering about that monkey.
Yeah, it's. It would have been cool if it was like back to being a bird. I mean, this series always had birds. Well, only had two birds, but like I don't know. There's always been animals.
A
And
cat would have been cool.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
anyway, I don't know. Monkey with a diaper. Diaper's just throwing me off, man. Anyway, T, shall we end it here?
Let's end it here. Okay, you have been a phenomenal sport. Thank you for summoning the strength to be here with me today to rant about monkeys in diapers
Thank you.
and old men doing things that old men shouldn't do.
And a bleak, futuristic, near future world.
Yep.
Yep.
To everybody here, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. As always, if you have any questions, comments, email us at itstkandm@gmail.com. That is itstkandm@gmail.com. I hope in 2 weeks' time, this raspy ass voice will be gone.
I'm sure it will. I mean, the listeners wouldn't know, but I was where you were a few days ago, and I sound okay. I have a little cough every now and then, but I'm okay. So I'm positive that you'll be where I am.
What if this is my voice forever?
Then it's okay.
Thomas, T, what a supportive guy. What a supportive pal. I appreciate you, T.
I appreciate you too, Kay. And I appreciate the listeners.
We appreciate. I'm pointing at the camera. There is no camera. I'm pointing at all of you.
Point at the microphone.
I'm pointing at all of you guys. Everyone listening, thank you as always. Please, if you haven't rated the podcast, please do so. Come hang out with us when we stream. Come talk to us on Blue Sky. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
See you guys.
Bye.